So here's an interesting story. So I've been reporting to you guys lately that the reports are that Barack Obama, and he ended up coming out and endorsing Biden, they're going to take an even higher role in the Joe Biden campaign because Barack's legacy is basically on the line. If both of his offshoots lose, that's a pretty big deal. And then Michelle Obama doesn't like Trump because of all the stuff that he did to Obama, to Barack. Um, and so it says Michelle Obama to lend star power to Biden. It says former Vice President Joe Biden's campaign is planning a rollout for Michelle Obama's endorsement, although there are questions around just how public a role the enormously popular former First Lady will play in his campaign. Sources tell The Hill that the Biden's campaign's early plans include a focus on remote fundraising and voter registration efforts. Um, and so what you're seeing here is Michelle Obama is going to come out and endorse Joe Biden, and Barack Obama already did. But I just want to say, and this is sort of my analysis on this, all of this stuff is useless. The idea that this endorsement or any of these like Obama endorsements is going to help Joe Biden is absolutely hilarious, and I think they're in a cocoon. I think Barack is in a serious cocoon, where I think he's under the impression that people care about his endorsements. Nobody cares if they did. Hillary Clinton would have won in 2016, but Obama simply doesn't have a sway in these states anymore. Like nobody cares. Your time is up. You're over. You're not really a political player anymore in that way, and you're just not a swing for anybody. And so he really believes that he's something now. But the truth is, it's not going to swing anybody. The people in Florida and Wisconsin, these states, they're not going to look at Obama endorsing Biden. In fact, some of those people might actually look at that as a bad thing. You know, a lot of those people in those Rust Belt states who didn't like his trade policy and his pushing for the TPP, they might look at his endorsement and be like, I actually don't want to vote for Joe Biden because if he's endorsed by Barack Obama, well then look. And Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama endorsing Joe Biden. Who's not already voting for Joe Biden is going to vote for Joe Biden based on a Michelle Obama endorsement? Like, let's be serious here. And to be honest with you, dude, Michelle Obama is a sellout. She's just a corporate, sellout like the rest of them. Remember her, like, friendship with George Bush. We share the same values. If that values is like, ruining lives overseas for innocent brown people, then I guess those are your values. But she's just not that interesting, to be honest with you. And she doesn't represent a struggle amongst like 90% of the population. She's lives in Martha's Vineyard. She's super rich. She's in her bubble. And Barack is in his bubble too. And so I'm here to tell you their endorsements don't mean shit. And this is what's going to be so great. This is what's going to happen, I'm telling you. They're all going to come out. They're going to think their endorsements mean something. And then what's going to happen is they're all going to go full throttle. And then Biden's going to lose. And then I think they might have an epiphany moment. Either they'll have an epiphany moment now, or it'll be 4 years later when they do the same thing and lose again. Because I'm sorry, Obama may have had a high approval rating when he left office, but that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean it's going to sway people who are not voting for Joe Biden to vote for him. And to be honest, that doesn't really mean anything when it comes to that whole situation, especially when you talk about how it's geographically. Joe Biden's poll numbers are a complete ass, by the way. Some polls have him up. I just saw a Pew Research poll him up 2 points nationally. And when you look at the swing states, he's losing Florida by 1 point in average. And then his leads in Wisconsin and I think Pennsylvania are like 1 and 2 points, which is well within the margin of error. So, and then you got to take into account Republican cheating too. So that dinks you like 2 points, 3 points because they always like to cheat. And so there's virtually no path I can see for Joe Biden winning winning the presidency. And I'm gonna take a lot of satisfaction in watching all this pan out because all these people are in a bubble. They're in these cocoons, and I'm very excited to see it burst open. I'm very excited for hopefully Barack and Michelle to realize that nobody cares what their political beliefs are anymore. They're done with their time, and they actually kind of look at them poorly. A lot of these real players who are, the swing voters, I think that they look at them pretty poorly. They don't really care. But they don't really relate to anybody, dude. They live in like $14 million homes in Martha's Vineyard. Nobody relates to that. You know what I mean? Like, how could they? You're rich, you're famous. You know what I mean? Like, well, powerful. You literally just, you just chose the outcome of the Democratic primary. Like, you are one of the most powerful people in the country, if not like, top 100 or something like that. So I'm really excited to see this happen, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun. That's the one thing I'm gonna take fun in is watching these losers, basically their bubbles be popped, and then Joe Biden losing. It's gonna be great, man.